Hello, welcome back to the British and Irish Eagles podcast. And folks, if you've been listening to the British and Irish Eagles and Next Man Up since we started, you will notice that the three musketeers are all here together. And I will ask Mick to remove his hand so that people can see his neck for the first time ever on the British and Irish Eagles podcast. Oh, Jesus, I thought it was Halloween for a second. Well, welcome back. It is draft night, ladies and gentlemen, and it wouldn't be a podcast without an appearance from my cat, who's trying to destroy everything already. And I was gonna get these on in time. I don't know where they've gone now, but I feel like no, they're not the right ones. It's Howie season. All I'm missing is a little cigar coming out the side of my mouth here. Howie is ready to wheel and deal. We are going to be talking about all of the build-up that we're going to have over the next, God knows how long we'll be on for. We're going to look at the top 30 visits. We're going to have a quick shout-out to what's going on around the world of PHLY, Philly Sports International even. And we are going to get into the A.J. Brown situation. We'll look at Mick's article where which touched on the wide receivers and who he thinks the Eagles could potentially go for in this draft. And then we are going to do a live mock draft. We haven't done a mock draft on the podcast since we started the all-season build-up to the draft. But we're going to do one live here for you guys. So anyone who's going to be joining us over the next hour and a half or so, drop us some messages in the chat. If there's anything you want us to discuss, if there's any thoughts or opinions you have on who the Eagles are going to draft, let us know. Without any further ado, let me welcome Phil, the fence Mount Stevens. We'll see if he sits on the fence today with some of his takes. And Mick, the non-beard, Shagger McGibbon, because it's not there anymore. Mick, I'll come to you first. Welcome back to the podcast, sir. How's it going?
Good, man. Good. I couldn't miss draft night, of course, so I've got to be back on for the night itself. I wish I could have done a bit more content, a bit more podcast from my Road to the Draft series. I've got to apologise first and foremost to all the listeners who are probably incredibly disappointed to have missed out on some content. Sorry, guys. I've been moving house. It's just constant chaos over the Easter holidays with young kids and stuff. I will do better. But I'm here tonight. We're going to get some draft talk going. Hopefully warm you up just before the first pick arrives tonight. It's going to be fantastic.
Are you staying up, Mick? You going to be there for pick 23 or maybe pick 18 or 17 or 15 or 21?
Howie's not going to sit still, is he? So yeah, I should hopefully be up tonight for the entirety of the first round, because I like to see who where all the prospects go. I know we're so focused on the Eagles, but being a college football watcher, lover, I want to see where all the guys go. I'm just so invested in the players that I've been watching throughout the whole of 2025 and some even longer than that. So I love draft night. I'm not going to be able to stay up for day 2, but definitely day 1.
I love it. I'm cheating this year, obviously, being, it's only 6:21 here. Draft starts at 8 p.m. my time. I have to say, it's pretty fucking awesome being able to not worry about getting up for work and to crack it on tomorrow. We got a couple of people here in the chat, but I'll come to in a second. Phil, I want to welcome you back into the podcast, sir. Not only is Mick moving house, you're also in the process of moving house. And as of yesterday, just to join the party, I had an offer accepted on a house. Well, I didn't want to lose out. I didn't want to miss out. How are you, Phil? And then we'll get into the birds.
You just can't let me and Mick have anything nice. We want to get some nice new shiny houses, moving on up and up in some nice new digs. And Liam gets a bit of FOMO and has to go and buy an even better house, 11 a reef, whatever you want to call it. No, it's good to be here. Just not on the fence so much tonight, more in the technical booth, trying to remember how to do live streams. And I think my laptop is just about holding itself together, maintaining the streams, putting the adverts on, bringing the comments up. So I'm going to let you two guys get into it tonight, because we've got Mick on the podcast, so we need to get every drop of draft knowledge from this guy as soon as possible.
I love it. It's crazy, right? Before we get into the draft, hey Joey, how you doing? Welcome to the British and Irish Eagles podcast. Great to have you here, listening into us. And Rich, I've no idea who the new Scottish guy is. He's stolen our normal Scottish guy. And yeah, you are going to get roasted. Great. Shout out to the Flyers while we're here before we get started. Absolutely dogging on the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. Me and Katie were watching the third game last night. They're 3-0, about to hopefully go through to the next round. Sixers are 1-1. Sixers are 1-1, and they now have home advantage against the Boston Celtics. Maybe Joel Embiid will be coming back as well to help out his compadres to get through to the next round. And the Phillies are shite. And I'll probably just leave that there. We'll see.
Well, shout out to Passyunk Avenue hosting the Flyers and the Sixers watch longs, even at this late hour. We're all tucked up in bed, but they're grinding out the wings and the cheesesteaks and the Yinglings, and they're having a good turnout. Apparently, they're in Battersea on Saturday, which is worth knowing.
Well, if you're watching online live right now, go and scan the QR code. Go and get the best Philly cheesesteak outside of Philadelphia. Get a PBR. Get a pickleback shot. Get the whole Philly experience in London, United Kingdom. Alrighty, before we get into what the Eagles are going to do, given we're to be here for a little while, Mick, I wanted to get some of your thoughts on the first round, specifically the top 10 to 15 picks of the draft. We've got Dallas in there in the top 10. We got the Giants picking twice in the top 10 if they don't move out. I believe they're 5th and 10th. So who do you think the Giants are going to go for? Do you think Jordan Love falls to 5, or is he going to be picked up by the Cardinals or the Titans just beforehand? Do you think they'll go Caleb Downs? Will they go Sonny Styles? What do you think about the Giants now? With Harbour obviously at the helm, and they've got the young quarterback and running back there that they're looking to build around. Where do you think the Giants go? Where do you think the Giants go? And where do you not want the Giants to go?
Yeah, well, the Giants, the Giants. I hope they don't. I hope they have a terrible night. I hope they have an absolute terrible draft and they just take a punter and a kicker with their first 2 first-round picks.
A long snapper. No. Howie doesn't even keep a long snapper on the 53, apparently.
Yeah, but I mean, they've got some heavy ammunition there, and with two top 10 picks, it's just huge. I couldn't believe that trade that they made with the Bengals. For Dexter Lawrence, the 10th overall pick, that was wow. Still can't believe that, but it puts the Giants in a position to try and get a couple of blue chip players in a draft that is, let's be honest, it's not full of blue chip players. So there's, I think there may be multiple teams trying to trade up in this first round tonight. Could see a scenario where the Giants maybe even trade back if they get a good deal, having maybe secured the 5th overall pick, with maybe they draft Sonny Styles, or they need some help on the defense, so that could be a way that they go. I think Jeremiah Love might be actually out of their reach, even at 5 overall. Jeremiah Love, I think I've said it in the podcast before, he is just a spectacular player. If you listen to most talking heads, all the NFL podcasts, all the draft analysts, they'll tell you Jeremiah Love's the best player in the draft. If we're not talking about positional value, so of course Fernando Mendoza is going to go number 1 overall, quarterback. Yeah. Raiders need quarterbacks. Forget about it. David Bailey's probably going to go 2 overall if it's not Arvell Reese, because again,
that's a big talking point, though, isn't it? Like the flip flop between what the Jets are doing there, 2 for it was Reese for a while, then it was David Beatty, then Reese. Everyone seems to be Bailey now.
For me, it's Bailey. I've got a friend who's a Chiefs fan, and he's talking about the Chiefs maybe trying to trade up.
To where?
To like the top three.
To two? I mean, I don't know if the
No,
Jets.
well, they're talking about trading with the Cardinals
and getting Reese if because I don't think Bailey will
and
be
getting
there.
one of Reese or Bailey.
Yeah.
You've got the Bailey with the Texas Tech connection with Mahomes. Maybe you never know. Mahomes goes to a lot of Texas Tech games. You see him a lot of the time. Many times the games are televised in the Big 12. But
I've heard rumors of the Chiefs trading up for Jeremiah Love as well. I've heard that on the rumor mill too. Yeah.
They added a running back during the off season. I can't remember.
He'd be the difference maker, as you say. Can I ask you a question about Jeremiah Love, as you're obviously a Notre Dame fan, and you've watched him intimately. Who would you compare him to in the draft in terms of historical running backs? When you think of the likes of Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. I'm naming all different types of running backs here on purpose.
No, I get it.
Who would you say he is most akin to?
So you're looking for his pro comp.
I'm looking for his comp. In your opinion, I've obviously seen comps before, but in your opinion,
it's a tough one. I think maybe Jonathan Taylor would be a good comp for Jeremiah Love. He's just that sort of.
I would say Jeremiah Love is coming out with more juice in the draft than Taylor did. Taylor kind of made his mark when he hit the NFL.
Yes, there's not many running backs that come into the draft with this.
Saquon was.
Saquon was. I mean, the running back last year from Boise State plays for the Raiders.
Oh, Gentry.
Yeah, Gentry. He came with a massive amount of juice entering the draft, and I think it's because particularly this draft is quite weak as it's seen. That only boosts his stock even more because there's just less talent or like top end talent anyway. Because if you're going to add to your team within a top 10 pick, you want really best available. You want someone that can come into your team and make a difference. And Jeremiah Love, that he's the kind of guy who is exciting, but he can play. So like it's such a awesome pick as a fan. You've watched your team all year getting absolutely shat on. Let's face it, if you're picking in the top 10, that's what's just happened in 2025. And but you're looking at a guy that's just full of energy, full of life, about to come into your team to make a big difference, and score some points, get into the paint, get some touchdowns for your franchise, and he's such a good kid as well. I don't want to make this all about Jeremiah Love, but
no. I mean, he is one of the most topical players in the draft. I just want to touch on the Chiefs again real quick and touch on some of these teams. I was just thinking, like, if you look at teams like the Raiders, you look at teams like the Giants, you look at teams like the Cardinals, and the Jets, etc. Browns, I think they're picking at 6. Titans to a certain extent. In the last 10 to 15 years, all of those teams have been perennial top 5, top 10 draft pickers every year, right? That's been part of their culture, right? You would think that would make them get better at picking in the top 10.
Well, it's supposed to. The point of the NFL, the parity.
The whole point is they should be picking later the year after, right? But they haven't. Then you look at a team. Then you look at teams like the Cowboys. You look at teams like the Chiefs. Who are towards the back end of that top 10 that don't historically pick, that high, all the time. Certainly not the Chiefs. The rumors I'm hearing. Yeah, right. Exactly. You specifically the Chiefs. The word coming out from Kansas is they don't plan on picking anywhere near the top of this draft again for a number of years. So they're going to make hay while the sun shines. My big shout outside of not really outside of the box, but outside of the Eagles draft shout is I can really see the Chiefs moving up into the top 5 to pick someone from where they are. I don't necessarily definitely agree it would be an edge. I don't know. I don't know. I think they could go up and get what's the name of the top wide receiver in Cornell? Tate, is it?
Cornell Tate, yeah, from
Yeah,
Ohio
Cornell
State.
Tate or Jeremiah Love. They're not going to need to move up for Kenyon Sadiq, but I can see them. I can see them moving up. Who do you not want Dallas to get, Phil? Bringing you in here. Is there any player you don't want to see in a Dallas Cowboys uniform?
Any player in a Dallas Cowboys uniform, I think.
That's a
your first round, but they've had a pretty mediocre record as of late in the first round, especially picking up all sorts of players, and a couple of them aren't even on the team right now. So you just can't get too worried about it. You don't want to see any of your rivals pick it up, and the fact that the Giants, like you said, are picking twice in the top 10 is bad enough. The fact that the Commanders and the Cowboys are going to pick up a first round talent themselves, it's just one of those things where you have to just hope that they make a hash of it and that they either do something silly or they get the worst player available. But the same way you don't know who the best players are until they're on the football field, you don't know who the worst players are. So you've just got to just hope that their scouting is terrible and that they've not picked something up.
Alrighty, let's turn our attention to the Philadelphia Eagles and what's going to happen tonight specifically, and then we can touch on what we think will happen tomorrow on day 2 as well, and then we can look at doing a bit of a mock draft for everyone as well. I want to get your opinions first, Mick and Phil. What do you think Harry Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be doing in round 1? What is your prediction? What is your projection? So I want 2 answers from you. Firstly, I would like what you think the Eagles are going to do in the first round. And then secondly, what you would like the Eagles to do in the first round. If you're watching on video here, you'll see the top 30 visits by Anthony DeBona, who did a fantastic job this year on tracking all of these top 30 visits throughout the offseason. So shout out to Anthony. And let me just quickly go through these here for people who are listening in. So the top 30 Eagles visits that we know of so far, although I think there's maybe 1 or 2 which are not completely up to date on here because we found out a couple in the last day or 2 down at the draft. So you got Kenyon Sadiq, tight end, ranked number 11. You got Ione, Penn State, interior offensive lineman, Amari Cooper Jr., wide receiver. Jordan Tyson, I can also announce, was a top 30 visit. He was said to have played a number of competitive games with Nick Sirianni. So 2 wide receivers there. I don't think Mekhi Lemon was a visit to the Eagles, but happy to be told I'm wrong there. Caleb Lomu, who is the offensive lineman that I don't want the Eagles to pick up this year, purely and only because I've heard 2 separate people say he is the most of all of the offensive linemen that the Eagles could take, that would be most like Jesus, I've forgotten his name. What's the name of the offensive lineman? Dillard. Thank you. Jesus. I've erased his name from my memory because of the bad memories. He's the only offensive lineman who's been akin a little bit to Dillard, and that just gives me nightmares. So they're the top 30 first round-ish ranked players. You've also got a couple of people here who could reach into the first round in Max Iheanacho and Dennis Sutton. I think Dennis Sutton might be closer towards the front of the second round as compared to the back of the second round. You've got another O-lineman from Texas A&M in Chase Bisontis. I probably pronounced that wrong. Chris Bell, EJ Smith's favorite wide receiver in the draft. He keeps mocking him to the birds with our second round pick. Traden Stukes, DB out of Arizona, who has a RAS of 9.95. Again, if you're looking at this on video, you'll notice the consistency of the 9.5 and above RAS scores. The Eagles like, those of you who don't know what that is, it's athleticism scores. Then you're looking into third round prospect. You got, I'm definitely going to fuck this one up, Dejon Stribling, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. Romello, height, would love to know what height he is. Edge out of Texas Tech. Jalen Kilgore, DB out of South Carolina, who has a 9.6 RAS score. Markel Bell, another PHLY favorite. Bo Wolf has the Eagles drafting Markel Bell on a few mock drafts. Big old boy. RAS score not available because he broke it all. No, I'm joking. I don't know why it's not available. I guess he didn't test. Nate, are you sure these are real players? Or are you just trying to test my ability to pronounce here and my enunciation skills? Nate Borkircher, tight end out of Texas A&M.
Good effort.
Fifth round.
That's pretty much correct.
Yeah, nailed it. All right. Two more O-linemen, Jude Bowery out of Boston College, Isaiah World, another O-lineman out of Oregon, 7th round, Caleb Douglas, wide receiver out of Texas Tech. And then finally undrafted LSU projection, tight end, Bauer Sharp, 9.16. Raz. Alrighty. Mick, coming to you first, my friend.
So,
in the first round of the NFL draft, what do you think will happen with Harry Roseman in terms of our pick? Will we trade up? Will we trade back? Who will we take if we do? And then after that, what would you like to happen in the draft this evening? Over to you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, sort of it's the easy answer, isn't it? And the fact that I think the Eagles are going to go tackle in the first round. It's just such a no-brainer. We know Lane Johnson, his retirement is imminent. It's going to be next. He's agreed to play another year. He doesn't have Jeff Stoutland with him anymore. I think this is going to be his farewell tour in 2026, and we need to draft his replacement now. The Eagles don't draft a year late. The Eagles draft a year early. So we were going to get this guy to come in and sit. Maybe he comes in and plays a few games. Lane is known to go down for a couple of games per season. He doesn't usually see out the full NFL calendar. So we need a guy who, he's not going to be top end talent of the draft because of where we're picking. We're not going to, but I don't see how he, trading into the top 10 for the top tackle in the draft. I can't see that happening. Would he be willing to trade into, between 5 and 10 places from 23 as far as 13? It's possible. I think so. With the draft capital that we own, looking ahead to next year as well, we've got plenty of draft picks between this draft, the next draft, whatever we pick up for AJ Brown as well. So Howie's probably, got all the red strings on the draft board, all the permutations of what can happen. If I do this, then this happens, then this happens. It's a big chain reaction, but he's got them all planned out. He's got everything down to a T. So Howie knows if he sees a guy start to dwindle down the board, he's picking up the phone. He's getting on the phone to Carolina or whoever is on the clock, so that he can strike. He can go for that premier tackle that he wants. He can maybe go for a Monroe Freeling from Georgia, or he can maybe go for Caleb Loma for Utah, or the other tackle from Utah. The world is Howie's oyster, or the draft is Howie's oyster. He is the puppet master. This is his night. This is what he does. So I'm looking forward to what he is capable of. I do think it has to be tackle, and I said I threw out a couple of names there, Liam, and I had previously written an article on this some time ago. It would have been the start of March. I think we discussed it on Road to the Draft as well. We're talking about 5 potential tackle prospects that we could pick up in the first round, and we spoke about Caden Proctor, the tackle from Alabama. We talked about Monroe Freeling, and the more I dug into these guys, the more I liked them. Like Freeling is probably my number one target in this draft. I just think he's ideal size, frame, build. He's a bit raw.
Are you worried about the majority of it being at left tackle? I know he has some time at right tackle. Are you worried about?
I'm not majorly. No, not majorly. I think he has the ability to learn. He's still young. I do understand you get these like left tackle only prospects, and it's unfortunate that we need a right tackle, because most of the guys that are coming out have predominantly played left tackle. Spencer Fano could be, one that we look at, but again,
You think we can get up to where he's going to go? He's probably going top 10, 11, isn't he?
I think he's going pretty high. Yeah, I think he's going pretty high. So it just.
Who's he taking, Mick? You're teasing me here. Is he going Freeling? Is he going Proctor? Is he going Lomu?
I'm going to be positive on this one, Liam. Okay, because I was going to say he's going to maybe reach back for Ian Archer, but I'm going to say he goes for Monroe Freeling. He gets aggressive and he trades up, and we get Monroe.
Where is he going?
He brings another bulldog into the building. That's what we need, isn't it? It's just another Georgia player.
Another Beagle. Yeah. Is he going to pick him up at 18, or is he going to have to go up to 15 or 14?
I think he's going to go, right, I'll say 16 with the Jets, because that's a pick before the Lions, and the Lions need a tackle.
Yeah, I was speaking to my buddy Andy. Phil, I know you've definitely met Andy, and Mick, you probably met him at the wedding as well. Who's my Lions friend. I was speaking to him yesterday, and he was saying tackle is where they're going, and Freeling is the guy who they like. Proctor as well. It's going to be interesting to see. All right, you've given me what you think Howie will do, Mick. What would you like to see them do? It sounds like they may be.
That's what I want.
That's what you want to do, right? What will Howie do? It's the same. You and Harry are in
positive. I'm bringing the vibes. I'm willing it into existence by saying it out loud.
You've got a Palantir from Lord of the Rings, a seeing stone that you're looking into, and you can see what's going to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
I love it. All right, here you go. Mick McGivern, with no beard, on the British Irish Eagles live draft podcast. Has the Eagles trading up to 16 with the New York Jets to take Monroe Freeling? I think a lot of Eagles fans will be very, very happy with that outcome. Mick, what are you giving up there to go to 16? That might be a second to go all the way up to 16, or a third and something else. You get a 19, 18, it's probably a third, I think. 16, do you think you get away with a third? I think you might need to give up more than that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's the Jets' second pick, so maybe they're not as desperate. Maybe would
you give up this year's second and first to go to 16 to take Freeling?
I wouldn't love that. No, I wouldn't love that. That would seem quite expensive, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
All right,
it's a bit expensive.
It's all interesting. I love it. The permutations, as you say, and all the different things that can happen.
Howie's probably already got his price. He'll know how much it's going to take to get to these people.
Thanks, buddy. I would like to take full credit. I had to thought about it, but I did have to Google the word. So I Googled Black Ball, Lord of the Rings. I only watched it recently. Love that. So awesome. Phil, over to you, my friend. Are you gonna cop out and give me one that you think will happen and you like to happen like Mick did, or are you gonna give me two options?
Oh, shots fired.
We'll see. We'll see. I never know where I'm going to end up. I start these long rambling monologues and then end up somewhere at some sort of conclusion.
Are you tackling as well? Is that where your mind's at, or it is?
Yeah, I was going to start with, I just don't get the feeling that Eagles are going to be aggressive in this. I'm not ruling it out, and don't get me wrong, I'll sit with every pick going, oh, the Eagles might trade it. Oh, the Eagles might trade it. And who might we be able to pick up if we traded here? I just get the feeling that there's not a lot of top-end talent outside of the top 10, and I feel like that's too rich for Howie to move into. So unless something crazy happens, and Howie will always be on the phone and scoping out trades, but I get the feeling that we're either going to pick where we are, or we're going to trade back because we don't want to reach for someone like Ian Atcher or something like that. But I feel like tackle is the way forward. We had these discussions last year when Lane Johnson was in the, it's almost like we're here 12 months later in the same position, wondering how long Lane Johnson's going to go on for. And I feel like we maybe got lucky, or, we kicked the can and it didn't burn us this time. Don't play with fire twice. We need to look at the potential replacement. And I feel like unless unless someone comes calling or something exciting pops out to people, I feel like we're just going to be playing it safe is probably not the right way to say it, but it feels
Sounds like
like
a
it's
bit
just
of a
going to be a
fence
safe.
take, really, to be honest.
I'm disagree. I don't think it's a fence take. I think it's just not foreseeing any kind of extreme moves. I don't think there's anything particularly standing out to jump up for that's reasonable. That's not an extreme, like, wow, well, where did that come from?
I guess we
Never
don't
expected
know,
that.
right? The Eagles tried to
You
trade up for
never
Jahad Campbell like 8 picks last year, and they fell for him in
exactly.
the end, right?
Yeah, and as for whether we go outside of tackle, again, it kind of fits in with the trading up. I feel like it would have to be that specific example. And we obviously don't know if this handshake agreement with the Patriots actually exists or whether it's just people making up stuff for clicks on Twitter. You don't know, but I feel like if the Eagles do hypothetically have some sort of agreement with the Patriots saying we're going to give you this, we're going to wait till 1st of June, you're going to give us AJ Brown, we're going to give you this, and the Eagles are going to sort of put the cart before the horse and pick up something to replace AJ Brown with, and then yeah, the capital that we could get from that trade. But it all feels so complicated. I feel like it just gets overthought, and then at the end of the day, Howie's just going to pick a decent guy at 23, and we all go home going, well, that was fun speculating, but we all knew this is where we were going to end up at the end of the night. So we'll see what happens. But I think we watch it hoping for excitement, but we all know that it's probably just going to end up being some solid pick that we kind of we like, but we can't get too excited over.
All right. Well, that's what you think. Go ahead, Mick.
Oh no, let Phil continue. It's okay. Sorry.
I was just going to say.
What I want to happen.
I'm interested in your answer to this.
Yeah.
Well, I think when Bijan Robinson was there 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, Bijan. I love the exciting trades up until then. You start looking at the capital that you'd have to give up to trade up. So I'd kind of like them to make a big splash. I'd like the excitement, but I think that's not from a head perspective. So I know there's been some debate about Sadiq, but I feel like the situation around Goddard and the tight end room has been severely under injected with talent over the last. It's been neglected quite a bit, and I feel like someone like a top tight end talent would be a big splash, but it would also kind of be a sensible splash. I kind of be excited. I kind of want them to do something like that, but I think to disappoint you, Liam, I'm just going to come back to the tackle because I want security. I want security. I don't want to be losing Lane Johnson and being panicking and fearing that we're not going to have the top offensive line room that we've enjoyed for the last decade. I want to continue that.
Who are you picking? Who do you want them to pick? You've said what you think Howie's going to do. Who do you want them to take? Do you want them to trade up to take a tackle like Mick suggested? We'll probably have to do for Freeling, or do you wait, take Ian Atcher, or do you trade back and think you can still get Ian Atcher?
I want Ian Atcher. I don't know why. I've just fallen in love with this story and the upside. And I think everyone else, the mock draft,
great striker for Leicester City as well back in the day.
Yeah.
Before he turned his arm. I know.
Yeah. I feel like everyone's starting to come around to that, and whether that ends up picking at 23 because they don't want to risk losing out on him, or whether they trade back, I feel like Ian Atcher is my guy. I want.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah, because I was going to say, Phil, I've got insider knowledge, and from the draft competition that we're currently running. And the last question of that draft competition is, who are the Eagles drafting with in the first round? And do you remember how you answered that, Phil?
No, but I feel like you're going to embarrass me now.
No, not. You said Kenyon Sadiq. You went for the exciting pick. You went.
Yeah.
So you were on the track there. You started. You started by saying.
I very much approached.
So much fun, but you must have been, you must have been having a lot of fun when you were filling out that draft form.
Yeah.
Your mind was
exactly
in, the exciting pick. The guy that's going to catch some touchdowns, the guy that's going to change the offense.
I very much got off my fence for filling out form. I thought, screw it. Most of the time, I always fill out trying to be really sensible, and I end up sort of
That
coming
was
in the middle of
after a
the
Loch
pack.
Lomond in Schmo and whiskey, wasn't it, mate? Wasn't it, Phil? That's what happened.
Maybe. And I thought, like, no, screw it. Let's just go on the air on the side of the extreme, the unlikely. The putting your neck out. So I think in the question, I think I misread one of the questions as well, because you put who's going to trade up, and I actually picked two teams that are going to pick for a trade.
I
So I think I probably
will take it first
voided
also.
my answer for that. I think I went for the Browns and the Titans. I feel like the Browns are going to do something stupid to take the Titans pick. But anyway, that's
All right, Phil. I'll pass
sidetrack.
the hosting responsibilities over to you to ask me.
Who do you want? Who do you need? No, who are you going for then? What do you think Harry's going to do then, Liam?
So what do I think Howie's going to
do?
I was watching a clip of Brian Boldinger about an hour and a half ago, trying to get some, research in before the podcast. And I quote, Lane Johnson replacement is not in this draft class. And I quote, Lane Johnson replacement is not in this draft class, according to Brian Boldinger. And I also want to point your attention to a clip that was surfacing on social media yesterday, probably 24 hours ago right now. Go to Lane Johnson's Instagram. He added a number of players, current and old. I don't know whether you saw what Lane Johnson was doing in that Instagram post. He was doing pull-ups, front-facing pull-ups, and he did about 15 pull-ups at 300-odd pounds. He's an absolute beast. I don't know that Lane Johnson's retiring after this year.
But it's not so much that retirement; it's injuries, availability. It's like he's
not. If Lane Johnson replacement is not in this draft class, according to one of the best O-line commentators and a source who is very close to Lane Johnson, that we know Brian Boldinger is, if he is saying Lane Johnson's replacement is not in this draft, Lane Johnson's just recently married. He looks like he's in the best shape of his life, which is ridiculous. I think there is a big scenario. There's this is my take. This is my big whiff for tonight. I don't think the Eagles are drafting an offensive lineman in the first round. I think there's a chance, obviously, that they will draft. I think there is a 50-50 chance that they will take I think there's a 50% chance they will take an offensive lineman. I think there is a high risk of a lot of offensive linemen going early. There's also the chance that they don't value some of these offensive linemen in the first round, which might be why they looked at so many offensive linemen who are slated to go in later rounds as well. Fred Johnson is back, which we weren't sure was going to be the case. There's a scenario where Fred Johnson plays even more time this year with injuries and could take on a starting role for the Eagles at tackle position as well. I think there are many, many scenarios and not a lot of people are talking about where the Eagles don't take a tackle in the first round of the draft. And with Lane Johnson's pull-ups, go and look at them. It's mental. With his pull-ups and looking at the shape he's in, with Brian Boldinger saying Lane Johnson replacement's not in his draft, with Fred Johnson coming back, with Cameron Williams being, in the at the link as well at the moment, being in the Eagles and seeing what he could do. I think they've got more options than people think. I don't think they're going to force a tackle in the first round. I think there's a chance, a big chance that one of the top three tackles fall and they go up and get them. But I think that's less likely than I think that's less likely than them taking a different position in the draft. I don't know that Max Iheanacho is the right. It's a big reach to say he's Lane Johnson's replacement. It's a big reach to say that he could be an all-pro, multi-year all-pro replacement at right tackle. There's a lot of ceiling there, and it's huge, right? But there's a lot to go for him to show that. Freeling and Proctor could be out of range. I don't think Lomo really fits the bill, but Lomu could definitely be drafted tonight. I'm not in Howie's mind. So here's what I think is going to happen. Go ahead, Mick.
I just think that a Lane Johnson replacement doesn't exist. You can draft a guy in the top 10, and you don't know if he's going to hit. You don't know if he's going to be a Lane Johnson. Like the Giants drafted Evan Neal to be their next franchise tackle, and he's a bust. They drafted him like something like 7th overall, and he was a product of Alabama. That you don't know what you're going to get. But obviously, the Eagles, they do the homework. We drafted Lane Johnson with the 4th overall pick, was it, in 2013? So if we're drafting, 23, or even if we're trading up a little bit, we're not going to get in the top 10. So no matter what tackle we take this year, next year, the year after that, it's going to be a project tackle, because we're not the sort of franchise that picks in the top 10 with any regularity. So Lane is eventually going to retire, whether it's next year or the year after, but we are eventually going to have to, pick his replacement. And is he in this draft? I don't know, but the Eagles are going to have to take a shot somewhere. Why not now?
Last Eagles tackle that was drafted around 2023 was Andre Dillard at pick 22.
Yeah,
Might be some
mess of that.
I get what you're saying, and I respect Baldy's opinion and far more than most, obviously.
Far more than mine.
He obviously has a good eye, but I'm sure he's probably going to be the first one to admit, it's like, obviously he doesn't have a crystal ball. He's making the best educated guess he can. And there's nothing to say that there isn't a guy that the Eagles could pick up that could become Lane Johnson's replacement. But I don't think people are talking literal replacement, like 1 for 1, 1 in, 1 out. We've got, continuous stream of excellence. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure we draft a guy who is going to have the best chance of being a suitable stand-in initially, and then maybe takes over and with minimal loss. So you need to be thinking about that. And if that guy doesn't necessarily exist in this draft, you've still got to take a chance on a guy potentially that might be, because it's probably one of the greatest needs of facing the team that cannot be plugged by guaranteeing a later round pick. Mailata being the exception to that. Anyway, what do you want Howie to do?
Look, good counter arguments, and I, again, I'm going against consensus here, but I do have history for that, so why the fuck not? I just can see it happening. Like, again, I still think 50% chance offensive tackle. I think there's probably 30% chance wide receiver, and I think there's 25% chance edge and 5% chance corner safety. Let me change that. I have a 50% offensive line. Give me 35% receiver, but I'm including Sadiq in there, and then give me 15% edge, and I don't think we're going to be drafting a safety or a corner in there. So anyway, let me answer your question, all right, which was, what do I think is happening? The Eagles trade up to pick 19, pick 18, maybe pick 17, pick 20, but around the 17 to 20 mark. And they take out Omar Cooper Jr., wide receiver, yak monster. They know that AJ Brown is going to be traded. There's an agreement. It's well known throughout the NFL. Adam Schefter has put his mortgage on it already, by the sounds of it. And, he only really spouts what's been approved to be released by the NFL executives anyway. Shots fired. So that's probably happening. There's been a leak today that the Jonathan Renard trade is happening. So for me, that takes out that brings in the need for wide receiver, takes out edge, and then with the other things I've already said about offensive tackle, maybe not necessarily needing to be done in the first round here, and could be done in the second round, could be done in free agency, could be done in a trade, could be done in next year's draft, because Lane might play one more year. For me, I just have a feeling that there's going to be something that's going to shock people. It could be Makai Lemon. Could be one of the other wide receivers, but Omar Cooper Jr. I can see him being an Eagle alongside Devontae Smith. I don't necessarily think he will be a Pro Bowl wide receiver one, but I think he could be like a T. Higgins, not the same style of play, but like a T. Higgins type of role. A Devontae Smith kind of role, again, different type of player, but a very, very, very good wide receiver too for the Eagles. What do I want? Well, first, what do you think about Omar Cooper Jr.? Not the player. What do you think of the likelihood?
I feel like this is the draft that's going to be an exciting one compared to the last couple of ones we haven't. It's possible, but there's just so many different variables. It's hard for me to get excited about picking a wide receiver or trading up for him specifically. By the way, the literal definition of offense take, saying it's a 50% chance of offensive line. Liam, you are on the fence, my friend.
All right, I'll come off the fence. Eagles will not draft an offensive tackle in the first round. They are going wide receiver. I think will be Omar Cooper Jr. He is he made 27 people miss tackles in the open field last year. He's a great. I'm not even reading this off anywhere. Just knowledge. All right, he is a great. He's called the yak monster. He's got really strong hands at the point of the catch. He only had one drop last year for what was deemed a catchable ball. He did an 80+% catch rate when he was targeted. He's not AJ Brown, and I'm fed up of people trying to say AJ Brown's replacement. He's his own person. It probably will be tackled from Clemson, but like I don't know. I just have a feeling it could happen, right? And that's I'm gonna stick to that. Well, I would.
To your guns, man.
I'm going to stick to that. What I would like to happen is really boring. I would like the Eagles to take Proctor or Freeling. I would like them to take a tackle. I don't like the risk of waiting till next year's draft to pick one up because you don't know where. Well, I mean, in an ideal world, we're picking 32 next year, right? And you're not going to get a chance to pick a tackle as high. It's very hard to draft to trade for a very good starting tackle. It's even harder to draft a very good starting tackle in the NFL. I love Fred Johnson. I've not been quiet about that on this podcast, and I think he's got the ability to be a starting tackle. When he came in last year in games, he did a really good job. I would like the Eagles to take a tackle just because it gives me peace of mind at that position. And I can see the press conference afterwards saying Howie's saying, I'm getting you get back to basics, need to build in the trenches. This has been a formula that's helped us win championships in the past. I can see the post draft press conference literally being played out, and happy as Larry. There you go. I would like them to take a tackle, but I think we're going to see something different. I think we're going to see something that's going to, and Eagles fans are not going to be happy. There's going to be a tackle on the board that we don't pick, and there's going to be a lot of noise. There'll be maybe there's an edge player there as well. Does it kind of feel like
if you want to put your negative hat on, that this could be the Rager year for offensive tackles? We end up picking this offensive tackle before one that's still on the board that we all want. There'd be a huge debate, and then we end up picking the one that's not the dud, but hopefully not.
Dillard, Andre Dillard, Rager. I do. I am scared about that, and that's probably what is informing my. I'm trying to find other scenarios other than us taking a tackle at 23, and that's the. And by the way, I think Kenyon Sadiq could be that player. I mean, receiver, pass catcher. Omar Cooper Jr. I think is most likely. I can see them trading up for Sadiq as well. I think the NFL has changed in the last few years. Tight ends coming out, pass catching tight ends coming out of college are making a much bigger difference than they were in previous years. They're not taking as long to develop as they used to historically. It used to be a tight end isn't going to really be productive until like 2, 3, 4 years after being coached up at the NFL level. We're not seeing that the case anymore with McBride and Bowers. And Mick, I know you've said before that you don't think Sadiq is that level of talent, and that's fine. But I think I can see how he's taking a swing on it, especially with Sean Mannion there and the Packers, the way they played with multiple tight ends, and he can block as well. So let me just make sure I get that in. A pass catching player, but I think it will be Omar Cooper Jr.
Is there a chance, and this is open to both of you, that there's kind of the subconscious desire to maybe not draft tackle to avoid the situation happening, to kind of go like, oh, I'm so frightened the Eagles are going to take the wrong tackle, I'd rather than they didn't take a tackle at all. And whether that's trading up, go for wide receiver, go edge, go something a bit like extreme, because at least they'll have the I respect it kind of side of the pick, and there's a less chance for people to kind of go, you picked the wrong X position.
Nah, you can't live in fear, man. No fucking way. They've got guys that are poring over tape, that are poring over, family history, medical history, everything into these prospects to make sure that they pick the correct guy. Yes, they make mistakes in the past. Yes, that's in the past. Forget that. Look at only a couple of years ago when we took Q from Toledo. Well, the two options that the Eagle had at that time was either take Quinion Mitchell, and a sort of riser in the draft process, star of the Senior Bowl, but he plays at a small school. No one really knows him. He can't do it against the best. Versus Terrion Arnold, who was, quote, one of the best corner in that draft, plays for Alabama. He's done it against the best. He plays in the SEC. The Eagles bet on their guy. They bet on their scouts and took Q. They're not living in fear anymore. They're not thinking about, I can't. I'm worried about what the fans are going to say. They don't give a fuck what the fans are going to say. They're going to take the guy that they want, the guy that they like, the guy that they've studied, and the guy that they've had in their building, played hoops with, played all their silly little games with, and all that. They've already got the character study. They know what they're doing, man. You've got this covered, guys. Come on.
I both agree and disagree with you. You might be wondering how...
You're a fence tonight. You're the biggest fence tonight. You've changed. You've changed.
You might be wondering how I could disagree and agree with you, and I'll tell you why. Right?
Let's get first. Yeah.
I think Howie Roseman is eminently scared and fearful of picking the wrong player. And I know that because he said it about 4 or 5 days ago when he was interviewed, that he thinks about the Jalen Raylor pick and the Dillard pick every day. He said if he's being honest...
He put more resource into...
I know, which is why I'm agreeing and disagreeing with you. I think I think the fear drives him to make the right decision. So that's me agreeing with you. I think I'm confident in him making the right decision because the fear of doing it wrong drives him. So you're both right. And that might be why, to Phil's point, they don't draft a tackle, because that fear might drive him to not make the wrong decision. So I do think there's some credence to what Phil says. But I also agree that mindset drives them to be confident in what they do eventually pick. And so I don't think those two are mutually exclusive of each other. I think you can have both. I think the fear drives them, but that might mean they don't draft a tackle. That might mean they drive someone else because they're confident that guy is going to hit at a different position because they may not trust his class. But fuck do I know?
I just wanted to put the cat amongst the pigeons there. I just thought it's just hypothetical. Sometimes you can, like, the subconscious decision maker is the avoidance of making the hard decision. And I'm not saying I think that. It was more like it could get to the point where they kind of go, well, would you think that's any kind of aspect of the thought process? But I think Mick's right, ultimately. Like, how he has found his formula, he's found his groove with it. And I think he is frightened of making the decision that he regrets the most from half a decade ago. But I don't think he's. I think he's learned. We always credit him for learning from his mistakes, or the mistakes of
He doesn't want to.
Dillard and Rager. I think
Yeah.
he's confident in who he's picking.
I mean, how he doesn't want to open up his phone on Monday morning, which he does every Monday. He dials up the British and Irish Eagles podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify and everywhere you get podcasts, and listen to us talking about him making bad picks.
He's messaging me all the time. When's the pod
Right?
going
You
up,
know,
Phil?
we know how much he listens to this
It's
podcast.
embarrassing, isn't it? It's crazy.
You know, so I feel confident that it will be fine. All
And
right.
Liam, sorry,
Yeah, go
just
ahead.
before you move on,
Yeah.
mate. It was just when you were talking about drafting a wide receiver, just very quickly,
Or pass
you
catcher,
thi-
pass catcher.
or pass catcher. Do you think that shows our hand in the AJ Brown trade? Like, it's
I
not
think it's
happened
already
yet, barely
gone.
rumored,
Yeah,
so-
I feel like that cat's
I think that's
like the
gone.
cat's
I think it's gone.
crying.
There's
does
no
it
way
make our
AJ
position
Brown
weaker?
comes back. He was checked out last year. Eagles don't want that smoke anymore. I don't want that. So I know what you're saying, but I think that's already gone. Everyone knows that now. Even picking up the Terry and Wicks was looking in that direction. And also, I think I said on a previous podcast, I don't think that them drafting a wide receiver in this round means they can't keep AJ Brown for next year. Because, and again, I'm looking at pass catchers, not specifically wide receivers here. Here's a question for you. If they drafted Kenyon Sadiq, would you say that was showing our hand? Because he's still another mouth to
in the
feed.
AJ Brown trade? No.
Yeah.
No.
So
Because
why not?
Goddard's only got another 1 year. Goddard's only got a 1 year deal, and we've got no one behind him.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but it's a first round pick. Eagles haven't spent a first round pick on a tight end, maybe ever. I don't know that they ever have. Right? Was Zach Ertz a first round pick? I'm not sure. I know Goddard was between 50 and 53 because it was similar to Rager and it was it was similar to Jalen and it was similar to Sanders. 3 years in a row they hit on that pick.
Yeah, Goddard was second round, yeah.
I don't know that like how he has ever spent that capital on it. So when you think of Sadiq and when you spend that capital, you're looking for a game-changing pass catcher. You're looking for a game-changing receiver, but not from a tight end or wide receiver. So my question to you would be, if the Eagles are drafting Omar Cooper Jr. in round 1, and if that's showing their hand, and I also think them drafting Sadiq is them showing their hand, because there's only so many mouths to feed, and I don't know. I still think you can keep AJ Brown. Like I still think there's a scenario where you draft Omar Cooper Jr. He's an incredible wide receiver 3 in his first year, a little bit like JSN was when he was behind Metcalf and Lockett when they first drafted JSN. That didn't stop them from drafting him. So yeah, I don't think so. One, I think they could keep AJ, and 2, I think everyone knows it's happening. So
Yeah,
now
I
it
think
might
we
make
are at a
people
point.
ask for more if we're trading up to get a pass catcher. But yeah, I don't think it shows the hand. But then there's lots of other things that could be factored in that we don't know, which is outside of anyone's control or knowledge, and that is the whole Mike Vrabel situation, which is going on right now. I don't know if you guys have seen the latest updates, but there's more pictures which have been released of him kissing Deanna.
Yeah, I'm not interested in all that. So
I know you're not interested in it, but and I'm not going to go down that road. But my point I'm trying to make is there could be a scenario where the Eagles say to Goodell and the NFL, "I'd like you to do an investigation to see if our player was being tapped up," and that could defunct the AJ Brown Patriots trade completely. I'm not giving that any credits. I don't have an opinion on what happened. I'm just saying there's a scenario where that trade could blow up because of what's going on right now in the league. So just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah.
All right, should we move on? Right, let's quickly do second round and who we think the Eagles are going to pick. And then we're going to need to move to our live mock draft. Otherwise, we're going to miss the first overall pick in the draft.
We're having fun, though. We're having fun.
I know. It's good. It is fun. So, Phil, you've got 5 people here on the list. Maybe there's another person not on this list here that I'm looking at that you might have a shout for. But with the Eagles taking an offensive lineman in your mind in the first round of their draft, that limits you to 3 of these individuals, unless you're double dipping like a naughty little boy and going O-line. who, who do you think the Eagles are going to pick up? Hey, Mick said we're having fun. Who do you think the Eagles are going to pick up in the second round of the draft?
You're not my dad. I can double dip as much as I want.
Do you reckon double dip come from like? Do you remember the dib dabs? And you'd
Yeah.
have like a little lolly, and
It
you'd
has
go in and
many
dip the sugar.
connotations, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
I like the safety from Penn State. I again, I know it's probably going with the consensus, but that's the strong second round pick, safety being another huge need. I like the sound of him. I like Penn State.
Hang on, are you
locality,
talking
Sutton-
about the
Sutton.
edge to Denai Sutton, or are you talking
Oh, is it
about
Sutton? Sorry. Yeah, that's what I'm on
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah,
the
that's
edge?
what-
Yeah.
But then that's getting scuppered by the green-eyed traders, like that is rumored to be happening. So
Not necessarily. I think they could do the greener trade and pick up Denai Dennis Sutton, and then they've got a stacked rotational edge line there. I don't necessarily think those things are. One thing would stop the other. I think it stops the Eagles taking an edge in the first round, personally. Falk, Mick, do you think there's a chance they could pick up Falk if he drops to 18, 19, 20?
From Auburn? Yeah, I think he's an excellent player. I think this draft has some serious talent in edge. It's probably the deepest position across the entire draft. I would say is the edge position. If you're going to take an edge, you want to take an edge in the first round, maybe the start of the second round. After that, there's just a huge talent drop off. We're talking about Dennis Sutton, Penn State. I think he's a great player. The Eagles obviously really like him because they've been swarming all around him since the draft process started. I think they went to the pro day. They spoke to him at the combine. I think they've had him in for a 30 visit as well. They've been like a bit like stalkerish on Dennis Sutton. So
everyone has him going to the Eagles. Like every draft,
it's because we've been swarming all over him. It's just
do you not
all
think
the arrows are pointing
going to
to
look
him?
at that and go, "Fuck you, we're taking him instead"?
Well, maybe how he's playing 3D chess and he's baiting other teams to take into taking him.
30 picks, maybe it could be 40 picks between those two picks, depending on if we draft up.
He had that ridiculous RAS score as well. Like he's an Eagles player,
right?
He's the sort of guy that Eagles go for. If you look at his relative athletic score, he's off the charts. He's a freak athlete, and that's what the Eagles always got. Like look at the draft history, especially the edge position. You look at Nolan Smith; he was an athletic freak. You look at what's his name, the other edge.
Oh, for Birds.
Yeah.
Talking about last year's pick?
No, Hunt. I'm talking about Hunt.
Oh, Jerry's Hunt.
Yeah,
he was a fourth round pick, third round pick. Sorry.
Yeah, but what I mean is it's the same profile. It's these guys who are just freak athletes. They look at the production, but they look at the ceiling that these guys potential have. Might not have produced it yet in college. They might not have they've maybe got the pressures on paper, but they've just not finished. They've not gotten to the quarterback. They just haven't expanded their tool belt in terms of pass rush moves. Maybe they've got like a really good swim move, but that's all they've got in their pocket. But they just need a little bit more expertise. They need time in the league. They need time against some like excellent tackle prospects to teach them, because that's one thing that the Eagles do really well, and is that they communicate across the lines of scrimmage. You've got guys like Lane Johnson there, a veteran in the business, who will take these guys under his wing and show them where's the weak point in the tackle position, where can I take advantage, where can I get leverage, and he will pick all of that up. It's like a big fucking sponge, but he's also got the tools in his body to be able to so he'll get the knowledge, but he's already got the athleticism. So you don't draft a guy that doesn't have the athleticism, because he can get the knowledge, and maybe he's got a really good mean bull rush, but he can't get around the edge.
Is your name EJ Smith? This is an EJ take right here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, he's all about the Raz. He's all about give me the physical traits. We can train him up. You can't train someone to be fast. You can't train twitch muscles. You can't train all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, I agree. I completely agree. Just a quick break from proceedings here with the Eagles. There's a few questions I just want to make sure that we get to here that people have been putting in the chat as we've been going. So Rich earlier on said, "Who can get the closest guess? How long does it take for the Raiders pick to be submitted?" So Phil, go first. What time on the clock in those first 8 minutes do you think the Raiders will submit their pick?
Well, there's game theory, isn't there, about whether they are kind of expected to wait a certain amount of time, because if they pick right away, that means the second pick doesn't get the benefit of having
More time.
putting a few feelers out. So I mean, it's 8 minutes a pick now. Mick, you were saying. So I'll go 5.5 minutes.
5.5 minutes, Mick.
Left on the clock.
No, not left on the clock. 5.5 minutes has gone, right, Phil? That's what you're saying.
Yeah. So 2.5 minutes left.
That's a good guess. I was going to go. That's where I was going to go. I was thinking about 2:20 left on the clock.
Go 2:20. I'll go 2:30.
Yeah, Price is Right.
Where's the big banana? Could be a banana skin in this draft. Who knows? You had 2:20, Mick?
Yeah, I think they like to drag it out. So,
all right, I will go 3:15 left on the clock. 3:15 left on the clock.
It's all about the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
It's agonizing because everybody knows the pick. It's annoying as hell. Like, see when they did, I think it was the Trevor Lawrence one.
It was the COVID one.
And it was, oh my God, just hurry up and pick him. Everyone's known it for like the last 6 months.
So also, Rich in the chat has corrected me, but I mean, I don't feel bad about getting this wrong. The Eagles have used a first round pick on a tight end in 1988. So, 38 years ago was the last time the Eagles drafted. No, that's he corrected it on the next.
Yeah, I know, but I can't keep
Jackson's first round, 1998. And then Brett, hey Brett, how you doing, buddy? Do you think there is a chance that we trade back? I do think there's a chance to trade back. That was almost it was my second what I think Howie will do. So I'll take a whiff on this too. I think there's a chance they trade back in the first round. I think there's a chance they trade back into the start of the second round and the Eagles don't make a pick tonight, which would be which would be horrible for Eagles fans. But I do think
that.
I think there's a chance that the Eagles trade their first round pick for a to go back into round 2 and also for a 2027 second round pick as well. So I could see them trading back into like pick 35 and picking up a 2027 second round pick because the draft is better. I think everyone listening in needs to realize that is a possibility for Howie to do.
I will go the opposite to you, Liam, on this one, and I'm going to just put it out there. There's no chance that we trade back tonight. No chance. We're not there.
No chance.
No chance.
There's no offense on where you are, Mick. That whiskey must be smelling pretty good.
No way.
This is a freaky Thursday. They even swap bodies.
I know. Alrighty, Mick. Who are the Eagles going to take in the second round?
Oh, that's a good question. So, with having already taken our franchise tackle in the first round, in the second round, I think we go wide receiver. Liam, we might go wide receiver. This is where we could pick up a naughty little day two catcher on the rye. I wrote an article recently for Philly Sports International, detailing a few of the guys that we could possibly look at around the round 2 mark and beyond, of course, as well. Between day 2 and between round 2 in round 3. What I would like to happen, Liam, is I would like Chris Brazil from Tennessee. I think he is an outstanding wide receiver. I don't think he's getting talked up enough in the draft process. I think it may require a trade up. I'm not too sure.
I missed the name there, Mick. Could you say that again?
Chris Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
Right. The second from Tennessee. 6'4", nearly 200 pound wide receiver, 22 years old, Tennessee Volunteers.
First team All Sec 2025.
Yeah, his wingspan is just ridiculous. I think I said it. I might have said it in the article. I don't know, but the guy is just juicy. He's juicy. This is the sort of guy you just want in your team.
12 games, over 1,000 yards in 12 games, 16.4 yards receiving per catch last year, 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, and he ran a 4.37. 4.37. So he's got the speed.
12 points higher than both Devontae and AJ, who ran a 4.48 and a 4.49 from memory.
Yeah, so he's got he's like a big downfield threat. It's like he can push vertical on the field, and I think that's what's maybe been missing a little bit from our offense as well.
He's quite slight. That must be where he gets his speed from at 6'4". He's only 198 pounds.
You say only. I wish I was 198 pounds.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like he's 6'4" at 198. I'm 188 at 5'9".
Yeah.
All right. Do you know what, Mick? I have not heard a lot about Chris Brazil II, and now I'm very intrigued by this prospect. So thank you for that.
No problem. But yeah, I think there's quite a few wide receivers that are interesting around the second round. Some may sneak into the first round. I spoke about Denzel Boston as well from Washington, the receiver. I think he's going to sneak into the first round. Casey Concepcion from Texas A&M. I think he's going to slip into the first round as well. I don't see him falling to the second. It may fall in the second, but it's going to be like right at the top. It'll be right at the top of the second round if it does fall. So that in the second round, you're really looking at maybe Chris Bell, who's obviously got the ACL concerns. He'll miss training camp completely. He may start the season on PUP. I just don't like that sort of gamble. He did have elite speed before the season ending injury that he incurred versus SMU around November, December last year. Which is a damn shame, and I'm sure he'll still pick up and he'll have a great NFL career, but it's just too much of a gamble for me. There's also guys like Stribling from Ole Miss, who I think we've had in a top 30 visit, I think you said. So the Eagles are obviously looking at wide receivers. We've had Jordan Tyson in the building as well. He's way out of our reach. That's not going to happen, but it's good to know that how he's.
He looks amazing, by the way. If he's fit, he looks absolutely sensational.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he's half the NFL.
Best wide receiver in the draft by a mile if he's fit.
Oh, you think so?
I do, yeah, personally.
Oh no, I like Lemon best, but
you like Lemon
preferences.
Best? I hate his name. I can't get on with Mackay Lemon.
Too bad.
Last time I said that about a name, we then signed someone. What's that? The coach, yeah. Oh, we're definitely fucking getting Mackay Lemon now. Like that's it. It's happening. Book it. Put your bets on. All right, I'm gonna. I obviously went pass catcher in the first round, so give me a Kalen Routledge, guard from Georgia Tech.
Oh yeah.
In the second round,
I like him.
He is a bit of an animal in the trenches. He has that dog in him. That we know Howie and Sirianni like to draft. So given I went for pass catcher, I'm going to go Kalen Routledge in the second round. All right, gentlemen, I think it's about time that we did our live mock draft. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
Phil, do you want to go for a quick little 60-second break with a Loch Lomond ad read, and then we'll go
Sounds
into
like
the draft?
a great idea.
Let's do it. Speech in 60.
Celebrate victories, rally through challenges, and bond with fellow fans as you toast with a dram of Loch Lomond single malt whisky. From tailgating gatherings to watch parties at home, Loch Lomond whisky becomes an essential companion, enhancing the moments that make football so extraordinary. It's the perfect accompaniment, from the joy of victory to the bittersweet moments of defeat. Loch Lomond offer a wide range of malts, with their flagship perfectly balanced, and signature expressions Inchmoan and Inchmuren to suit any taste palette. Celebrate greatness on and off the field this season with a perfect balance of Loch Lomond whisky and Eagles football. From the first pour to the crowd roar. Fly Eagles fly.
Absolutely love that. Breaking news. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell said on a pre-draft interview with ESPN that Mike Vrabel's situation did not fall under the league's personal conduct policy and that it was a team matter. So there you go. The AJ Brown trade is still on with the Patriots. All right, let's get into our live mock draft. How are we doing this, boys? Is this a consensus? The three of us going to have to agree and fight over who we want to pick here? I guess that's what we'll do.
Yeah, I won't argue too much.
All right, we'll use Mick's Premium PPF login, which I've been using all week. Thanks, Mick.
No problem.
To do the draft simulator. Now, question for me here. I'm going to move you onto my bigger screen so I can see a little bit better. Phil, are we going to be able to pause down, pick 13, 14, just to see if there's any trade ups we want to do?
Yeah, pick 13. You want me to try and stop it around there? No problem.
I reckon so. Mick, you 13? I can't see how he trading up to 12 or 11. 13 feels like a stretch for me. 13, 14.
Absolute ceiling.
Yeah. All right, let's pause at pick before
Even
pick
then.
13. So get ready to do it when pick 12 is on there. Let's do it. Dallas sucks. Oh, Jesus, that
Got
one's fast.
10.
No, we're on 11 now. Pause. Oh!
There we go.
No Freeling just went to the Cowboys.
Monroe Feeling went at 12. CJ Allen, linebacker, right. Scroll up so we can see who's gone. Phil, let's see who's been taken in the first 13 picks. Adds all the way to the top, please. Phil, can't see Jeremiah Love right now. Mendoza obviously goes to the Raiders.
It doesn't matter.
Well, Bain Jr. goes second overall. That's probably not going to happen. Sonny Styles goes third overall. Jeremiah Love goes fourth overall. Arvell Reese goes fifth overall. David Bailey goes sixth. Francois goes 7. Caleb Downs goes 8. Kyle Lemon goes 9. Spencer Fano. No, who's that? Mansour
Delane.
Delane, because it's hard for me to see here. Spencer Fano goes 11. Monroe Freeling goes 12. CJ Allen goes 13. So at 14, Proctor is available. Kenyon Sadiq is available. Is there any other tackles that haven't gone yet? No, Fano's gone, Freeling's gone, and Muaga's gone. So Proctor is available. Kenyon Sadiq's available. Cooper's available. Hang on, did Tate not go?
No.
Cornell Tate still on the board?
Yeah, he's still on the board.
What do you think?
I would just let it run. I don't think we're trading up here.
What, should we stop it again at 17?
If you like.
Stop it at 17 or 18, whatever you land on, Phil. Okay.
So there's Tate and Owen.
Okay. Proctor's available at 18. So is Kenyon Sadiq. So is Omar Cooper Jr. I could see Howie moving up for Proctor here at 18. What do you think, Mick?
Make an offer, or
do you want to hold out?
What's it going to take?
What's it going to take? So 23 and 98. Ooh, 23 and 114.
Catching your luck.
What do you think, Mick? Would you do that?
I don't think they take that in real life.
You don't think they take that in real life? So what do you think? 98?
You think 98 is more realistic?
I don't think they move back like 6 places in the first round to take a 4th round pick.
Okay. So what you think it could be 68 or 98?
Minimum 98, yeah.
Now, well, the next question is: do you want to do it? Do you want to offer the trade? Do you want Proctor that bad that you want to give 98 away?
It was you that wanted Proctor.
Oh no, I said he was still on the board. I don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't mind waiting on Ian Atcher and keeping their picks.
So
I would rather 98.
I'm happy waiting.
You're happy waiting?
98.
Okay, let's hope Ian Atcher doesn't go 20, 21, 22. All right, let's go. Ian Atcher, Omar Cooper Jr. when
we can still get Proctor.
No, not Ian Atcher. Sorry, Kenyon Sadiq, Jordan Tyson. Oh, we could have had Kenyon Sadiq. We could have had Jordan Tyson. We could have had Omar Cooper Jr. We could have had Hendrik Folk. But the boys wanted to wait for Ian Atcher. Oh, and Tatum Proctor's still there.
You got.
Oh, it's a home run, right? I don't think they take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, even though he's amazing. Blake Miller, I don't know a lot about Blake Miller, but I've been told to avoid. I think it's got to be Proctor, boys. Unless you fancy a wee trade back to see if we can still pick up Proctor and Ian Atcher and pick up another pick.
I'm happy with going.
I think we go with Proctor. Yeah, also trades like the deliberation on trading doesn't make for good viewing. I don't think so.
Okay. Good evening, Catus Mom from Philadelphia. How are you doing? All right.
So
let's go. Caden Proctor, you are an Eagle. I guess we'll just go through to the next pick.
We held.
Let's stop at 40. Oh well, too late. Okay.
There's a wide receiver there that I like.
There's a defensive end that I like there.
Which one?
Malachi Lawrence.
Malachi Lawrence from UCF.
Yeah.
Who else is there, Phil? We'll get Chris Brazil from Tennessee.
Oh, do you know what?
Bell.
I like Chris Brazil just because of that. You've just talked about it. He's there. Now, do you like Chris Brazil more than Skylar Bell?
Yes.
Do you like him more than Eli Stowers at tight end? I do.
Yes.
Do you like him more than AJ Hawley and Keontae Scott?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's we're set on Brazil, I think.
Chris Brazil runs like a gazelle. You are an eagle.
That's got to happen now. It's got to happen.
All right. I'm feeling Proctor and Brazil. This one's being released, boys. This one's going on socials. This is our prediction.
Yo, if we walk away with this in tonight's draft, I'm happy, man. I'm happy.
Me too.
It doesn't matter what happens after the first 2 rounds. It doesn't really matter to me.
There's only one round tonight. I'd be surprised if we find out our second pick this season.
No, I mean over the course of the weekend.
Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I fancy a trade back here.
Who's on the board? Let's have a look at who's on the board. So we're picking at 68 overall.
Caden Routledge is still here.
We've got Rutledge. Yeah, we like him.
And we could
Majority
use a
of
guard because we don't know what's going to happen with
Guard.
Dickerson, and we don't know what's going to happen.
I do also like Max Clare from the tight end from Ohio State.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the
Yep.
tight end position. Romello Height, the edge from Texas Tech. We had him in the building, I think, in the 30 visit. Though you won't like him, Liam, because I think he's 25.
Yeah, no, that's no thanks. That's out for me.
Yeah, I think he turns 25. He may not be 25 yet, but he's about to turn that way, I'm sure. Which is it sort of puts you off a little bit. Dion Burks is a good wide receiver, but we've already taken a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So I think
it's
we either go
between-
Rutledge or we go.
Scroll down.
I've forgotten another one already. Oh, Max Clare.
Max Clare.
Not interested in either of the cornerbacks.
No, not with
Stukas.
not with DeJean.
Q.
We got 3 stellar cornerbacks already. For me, it's all right. Try and convince me on the tight end, Mick. What do you like about him?
No. Honestly, I'm happy. I'm happy just to go with the guard.
I think Howie double
Rutledge.
dips. I think we go Rutledge. Yeah.
Yeah, well, with Landon Dickerson's future uncertain, then I think that's quite a wise.
And
pick.
Tyler Steen not
And-
necessarily being a home run hit either.
I think the depth, the guard is like sneaky thin. We talk about tackle, but the guard is actually getting quite thin.
Okay.
Quarterback factory.
Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller. I mean, they're both there. 98 overall pick. It would be sacrilegious.
These guys were talked about. See, this time year, those two guys were talked about going top
10?
5. Both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah. What do you think about Zakee Wheatley, safety out of Penn State? It's a need.
It's a guy who I have mocked quite a few times because he seems to fall just in that right sweet spot around this pick. I think he's one of the better safeties in this draft. As you say, Penn State. I think he's 24 though, so again, Liam sort of in the top end. They're getting
Safeties do play a little bit older than cornerbacks, though.
well, yeah. Safeties need to have that sort of. You've got the sort of whole.
He just
field
turned
vision,
24, so
they
he won't
have-
turn.
They have to be
He
able.
won't turn 25 till his second season.
Yeah, I think it is important, for safeties to have that like base level knowledge at least, because they see the whole field. They have to diagnose the play and understand all the concepts like straight away. Even more so than cornerbacks, because cornerback maybe just are mirroring what the wide receivers are doing, but the safeties are they're more trying to diagnose the play as it happens.
He ran a
Especially in
4.65,
concept.
which is quite slow for a safety.
Hey, what did Kyle Hamilton run?
I think it was 4.70 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was terrible.
What about Mick? What about Michael Trigg?
Michael Trigg, no, absolutely not.
Don't fancy Michael Trigg.
He has character concerns. I think I spoke about.
Oh, you said this to me earlier on today, didn't you?
Yeah, he was at Ole Miss and he got kicked off campus. He went to Baylor. I think he got suspended for a few games. Character concerns. I don't think he's Eagles material.
Do you think we go Drew Aller, or do we go Nussmeier with his dad's in the building, right?
No, he's not. He's with the Saints now.
Oh, he's with the Saints now, but he's a known commodity.
Yes. Or there's Markel Bell. I think you spoke about him at the start of the
Yeah,
pod.
but we've gone tackle and O-line already in the first.
Yeah, that's true. Plus, I was going to say I don't really like him, so.
What about?
Personally, I would go safety. I would go.
All right, let's go.
Wheatley.
Let's go.
Go Wheatley?
Zakee Wheatley. Yep, let's do it. Lock it in, Phil. All righty, feeling pretty good so far. Wide receiver, tackle, guard, safety. 3 offensive players, the 1 defensive hole we needed to plug. We need to get young on the offense. We need to get cheaper on the offense. I like where this is going. I like where this is going so far. Okay.
I think this is where the draft starts to separate into, just go for your guys. Like, forget about position. Like, or don't focus on position too much. I think it's more like, if you like the guy, draft the guy.
Do you know much about Caleb Proctor out of Louisiana?
Who, sorry?
Caleb Proctor.
Oh, no.
At the very top.
No, absolutely not. I've not even heard of him.
FCS first team All-American.
That's why I've not heard of him, because he's an FCS player. I don't watch FCS. So, again, wouldn't be a guy that I know of. In defensive interior, is that a position that we're going to be potentially looking at? It could be.
I think that's probably a position we pick up in the hope that we can find someone to replace Ajomo.
Yeah, guys at a small scale. We've got Kilgore's there.
Can you click on him, Phil? Can you click on Caleb Proctor? Can we see his profile a sec? Nine sacks last year. What's the first?
That's pretty impressive for the interior.
It is very, very impressive. Go to his first look. Go to first look.
Yeah, it's always guys from these small.
6'3", 280. That's quite light for an interior defensive.
It's very light.
He's only 21.9, but he's been very productive, but productive in a lower division.
Yes.
Let's have a look at Xavier Harris. And there's Makai Kamara there as well.
The draft's going to start seeing itself.
Are you thinking ideal?
Yeah. What else have we got there? 336.8. Now we're talking. All right. Let's take this guy. Let's take Xavier Harris. 330, 6'8". Put him and Jordan Davis in there, and you don't even need a defensive line. Just put the 2 of them in there, and no one's running the ball on you.
We doing it?
Yeah, why the fuck?
Yeah, why not?
All right, a couple more picks left. 3 more picks left.
Wow, that Xavier Harris is 6'7". That's crazy. Yeah. Defensive interior. Wow, man.
Do you know much about Klein,
Nick?
He's come up on my board a few times. Marlon Klein, Michigan State.
Oh yeah, the tight end. Yeah, not obviously not top of the draft. He's, I think he's again a bit of an older prospect. I think he's been around college football for quite a few years. Yeah, I think
he's obviously the blocking tight end. He's got 1 touchdown as an entire college.
Yeah, a lot of these guys around this end of the draft, I think, as I say, the dart throws, you're not getting high end talent. You're sort of betting on attributes at this point. I think Jacoby Lane's actually a guy that I like. He's another wide receiver, but
what about Carson Beck? What about Carson Beck at 137? He's fallen quite a long way there. Do you pick him up as your next QB factory, your next Tanner McKee?
You could do Tanner McKee replacement, but static in the pocket doesn't seem really like a full, Jalen's print of.
I've heard a lot. Oh, hang on. I've heard a lot about Emmett Johnson as being a real gadget running back, and Saquon's in his last year. of guaranteed money, and my mind has gone bloody blank today. I don't know what is wrong with it. The other guy used to play for the Jags.
Tank.
Tank is also in his last year. I like Emmett Johnson here.
Go for it.
Let's go Emmett Johnson. I actually really want the Eagles to pick him up at a late round pick. I didn't see him there for a while. I only just saw him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have minded Nick Singleton there as well.
Yeah.
Who you'll know from Penn State, running back.
Yep. No relation to Jamal.
Or is he?
Alrighty, 2 picks left.
Right, here we go. Okay, Klubnik, he's fallen quite far back. Joe Shelton, the tackle from Penn State, yeah, it's not bad. Julian Neal, the corner from Arkansas.
I don't mind that pick at all.
Yeah, let's go with Julian Neal, cornerback Arkansas. Yeah.
Take a flyer.
Yeah.
And with the last, is this the last one we got coming up? Yeah. Our last Eagles pick of the draft. And then we will love you and leave you all because round 1 is about to start.
Oh, good.
So
I guess
come on,
it's more position.
give me a
picking up depth piece somewhere.
Give me a
Pat
center.
Coogan.
Well, I don't know much of. I know fuck all about.
I do.
Pat Coogan.
I know everything about Pat Coogan. He's
okay. Go on then.
He's a Notre Dame transfer.
Okay. And do you like him?
We're going with that one, are we?
Love him. All
right. I'm in. Pat
Let's
Coogan. We don't know. Jurgens might be moving to guard at some point to pick up for Dickerson, and Coogan steps in. All right. What grade are we getting? I reckon we're gonna get B+. By the way, Phil, your laptop and internet is the slowest thing in the world.
Shots fired. Is it crashed?
Oh, well, he looks like he's had enough, Mick. He's had enough. He's lost. He's not here anymore. There he is. He's back. How you doing, Phil? We're just firing shots at you while you couldn't hear us, or maybe you could hear us. Or is it me you can't hear?
I can hear you. Absolutely. But hey,
okay. Still grading.
What are we getting? Drum roll. This has been fun, guys. I've enjoyed this. This has been
Me
rare.
too. Me too.
A good old chinwag about the draft.
What do we get, Phil?
We got an A- for the Chris Brazil.
Yeah, we got a C for my. We got a B. I'll take a B.
There you go.
I'll
Sorry,
take a B. Yeah, that's a good.
All right,
that's
Phil.
A fine looking draft. What was that, Phil?
Clip it, Phil, it, and get it out on socials.
Yeah, it goes on the go slow. When I click the buttons, it's like when it's whirring through, it's on the limit of my my laptop's ability to handle. So it kind of just goes, and I just have to wait until it's done so I can talk to you again.
All right, Eagles pick Caden Proctor, tackle Chris Brazell, the second wide receiver, guard Kalen Routledge, safeties Akee Wheatley, interior defensive lineman Xavier Harris, running back Emmett Johnson, cornerback Julian Neal, and center Pat Coogan. We have drafted every single position of need of even quite and in order of like need as well. The only position we haven't drafted is tight end. But I'm very happy with what we've just done here, gentlemen.
Might break the habit of a lifetime. Let's just piss all over tight end for another year. Let's just see what we can club together.
Hey, listen, Mick, Phil, it's been an absolute pleasure. 1 hour and 40 minutes of live drafting before the draft starts. And we're going to leave you all with 4 minutes to go for the draft to start. My wings are ready. I'm ready to devour them. I've got a little non-alcoholic Athletic Light lime and salt beer, which is actually very nice.
No free ads.
Yeah. You both staying up for the whole thing?
Yeah. Got to. At least until the Eagles pick. Yeah.
I'll stay up for a little bit.
Well, gentlemen.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Enjoy.
And I suppose if you think about it,
leave you all.
if there's 2 2 minutes less per pick.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be positive. Those who stayed with us and watched, thanks for all the questions. Thanks for listening in. Those listening tomorrow, you might be laughing at some of our picks because you know what's happened. Hope you enjoyed being here with us and listening whenever you do. Mick, it was great to have you back on the podcast, albeit very strange not having a beard. And I guess maybe the next time all three of us are on a podcast together, all three of us are going to be in 3 different houses, perhaps. Although it does take quite a while in the UK, I know, for all of these things to go through. Whereas I was told earlier on today that we could be moving in like 3 weeks' time, which is, it's all very crazy over here. Anyway, I will love you and leave you with the news that the Eagles are not taking offensive tackle in the first round. They're taking a pass catcher. Vic and Phil think they're taking a tackle, and they're probably right. We are the British and Irish Eagles. We're sponsored by Loch Lomond Whiskies and Passion Avenue. We love spreading the word of the birds all around the world. Go and take a look at Philly Sports International website for some of our articles on the lead up here and all of the rest of the podcasts we've done. And sign up to be a British and Irish Eagles member. There you go. Thank you very much, Phil. QR code is there. Events, giveaways, prizes, group trips and chats, quizzes, fantasy leagues, and much, much more. Come and join the fun. Come and talk to us and enjoy the fandom of the Philadelphia Eagles abroad. I've been Liam O'Neill, the Irish Eagle, your host. Phil, the fenceman of season, and Mick, the beardless McGivern. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen. Hope you have a lovely rest of the evening. I'm sure we'll be chatting, and go fucking birds.